Hello my friends, welcome to my review and tutorial. Yes, I said tutorial. What? With the Alice Through the Looking Glass palette. As y'all know, I don't really do tutorials because I'm more of a review kind of girl, but I figure if I can put a tutorial in there, if I can actually get good at doing tutorials, it'll just kind of enhance my reviews. So that's kind of why I'm going there. Let's go ahead and just start talking about this palette as a whole. So it's 60 bucks, which is a lot for any palette. Before we continue, I do want to let me get my dog out of here. Hold on a second. So for your 60 bucks, you're paying for packaging is what it comes down to. This packaging is gorgeous, but it's cardboard and plastic, so keep that in mind. It's just beautifully designed. So you've got this mirror here, which is a very nice little mirror. It says, "We're all mad here" on there, which I love. You've also got this little, see one thing I don't like already is when I open it up, the tray just falls out. So what I'm going to do while I show you the inner packages, and I'm just going to take the tray out, which I do like that it comes out really easily if you're holding up the box. So here it says, "I'm not strange, weird, off, nor crazy. My reality is just different from yours." And I do feel like that's true about me. I love Alice in Wonderland. It's one of my favorite concepts overall. So inside you've got this plastic butterfly that pops out when you open the doors. It's got a little pull tab here that stretches the butterfly out so that it kind of flaps its wings as you open the door. So, I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. These are magnetic closure, which is very nice. I do wish that there was some kind of magnet that held this in place in the back so that it didn't slip out so easily, because it really does come out easily. It's kind of the old school Urban Decay packaging from when I first started buying Urban Decay. But anyway, so it does come also with a brush. This brush is dual-sided. This one is supposed to be for packing on color in your lid. This is more of a blending / crease brush. I do wish that this was slightly larger. I feel like it takes a while for it to pack onto the lids. I do really like the blending crease brush though. This one is very good. It is kind of stiff though, so it's going to be more for putting color into the crease. It's not my favorite for blending. I do like a fluffier brush for blending. Okay, I did brush swatches down my arm of the entire palette. Now, I want you to keep in mind with these brush swatches is I have hair on my arm. There's no hair on my eyelids, at least I hope. So the way they swatch on the arm may be different than the way that they go onto the eye. Also, I have no primer on my arm. This is without primer. It's just kind of a general idea of how these are to apply with a brush. If you look at the packaging on the back, it tells you that each one of these rows goes with a character. The first row is the Alice row, the second row is Mad Hatter, third row is Mirana, if I'm butchering these names, Mirana, and then the third row is Erasabeth, I don't know. But the Red Queen. So this is the White Queen, this is the Red Queen, and then this is Time over here. So what I did was I swatched each one in its little family. So let me get you up close. Okay, so you can see the 4 shades there are the Alice shades. The next 4 are the Mad Hatter, next 4 White Queen, next 4 Red Queen, and then the last 4 are Time. So within this, I definitely see some shades that are going to be a little more difficult to work with and ones that are super pigmented. The ones that I really feel like are going to be pretty easy to work with are these 2 Alice shades have a lot of pigmentation. I feel like Dormouse and Metamorphosis have a lot of pigmentation. Now I feel like Reflection is going to be really nice as well. Looking Glass is a little bit weak, but it is a lighter color, so you know, take it like that. The shades here in the Mad Hatter are definitely all super pigmented and they went on really nicely. Now I've used Lily on the lid. Lily looks really beautiful on the lid, but it does take some building and you might want to use a base with it to get it to fully show the full effect. It's a white with a pink duochrome shift in it, and it can be beautiful. It's not swatching very well here. The other shades in the White Queen look very, very nice. They're more of like your neutral set. The ones down here are the ones that I've used on my eyes today. So we've got Heads Will Roll, Bandersnatch, Salazangrum and Royal Flush. Now, Royal Flush is a little bit patchy to go on. It's definitely not my favorite in the palette. I do have that all over my lid today. You'll see that in the tutorial in a minute. But it's kind of okay. It's definitely not my favorite, but the rest of them, you'll see how they apply. They apply beautifully. And then with the time shades also apply pretty well, except for the Dream On shade. Now, the Dream On shade is that typical Urban Decay chunky glitter shade that's really difficult to work with. But that's the only one I feel like is super difficult to work with as far as the swatching goes. I haven't tried Dream On my eyes, so I can't really speak to it 100%, but just touching it, if you've touched an Urban Decay chunky shadow, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's one of those. But other than that, I mean, they really are. I can tell they put a lot of love into this palette. I mean, whoever designed this really thought it out. They spent a lot of time on the quality of the shadows, and I really feel like if this is calling to you, that this is going to be a good one for you. I'm going to go ahead and show you the tutorial now so you can see this row in action and maybe a possible way that you might want to apply it. Now, I would never go out of the house looking like this, but you can calm it down using some of the techniques that I show you. So go ahead, watch the tutorial, and I'll be back, talk to you a little bit more about it in a minute.
All right, so I'm completely and totally terrified of doing this tutorial because I have no idea what I'm doing. But we're just gonna have a little bit of fun and see where it goes. So this is the row that I'm going to be using, and I don't even know how to say her name, but it's spelled like Ikrabeth or something like that. It's the Red Queen, okay? And if you've never seen a picture of the Red Queen from Alice in Wonderland, here it is. I'm not gonna look like that. Like, that is not, there's no inspiration there for an actual look. So I'm just gonna kind of go with it, and we're gonna start off with the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil and Milk because I know I want this shadow to pop. So let's go ahead and just start there. Okay, so I'm looking up Yahoo Answers, and Yahoo Answers says Irasabeth. I can't do it. I give up. Okay, Yahoo Answers didn't help me that much, but I'm hoping I'll be able to pull off this palette. So I'm gonna use all Beauty Junkies brushes because I believe in them so fully. We're gonna go ahead and start with the all over shader brush, and we're gonna use Royal Flush down here as a base. And as I do this, I'm gonna do both eyes, but I'm only gonna show you as I do one eye because it just takes too long, and it's this exact same thing on the other eye. I always think it's creepy to see somebody that's only done one eye and then the other eye's not done. Like, I always think it looks absolutely so stinking weird, so I'm not doing it like that. Because this is my channel, I do this how I want. Okay, I'm gonna break into the Naked Basics 2 palette for my crease color because what I've found is that I feel like Dormouse has a little bit of glitter in it, and then Chessboard is a little bit dark for a transition, and I want something a little bit lighter. So I'm gonna go ahead and use Clover here from the Urban Decay Naked 2 Basics palette, but you could really use a bronzer. There's so many different shades that are like Clover. Don't feel like you need this palette to do this. So just above that transition, I'm gonna try Salazangrum, this one right here. And that was the Pro Crease brush by Beauty Junkies. Now we're gonna go into the Pro Detailer brush, and we're gonna add in the shade that I'm most excited about, which is Heads Will Roll, right there. Okay, now without wiping off my brush, I'm gonna dip back into Royal Flush, and I'm gonna cross over top of that line to kind of blend it a little. Now I'm gonna go back in with the Pro Crease brush, and I'm gonna go into Bandersnatch, just a touch, because I can tell this is super pigmented, just a touch on the corner, right here. Just popping it right there. Now we're gonna clean up this edge later, so I'm not concerned about it right now. I'm gonna go back in with Bandersnatch, but I'm gonna use the Pro Pencil brush instead. And I'm just rolling that in the product, just kind of giving it a roll, and then tapping off any excess and bringing that up just slightly into the crease. Now I'm going to take it and I'm going to V it out just a little bit out into the corner. And then just blend with this clean, fluffy brush. This is the tapered blending. Just a little blending. Don't over blend. I'm going to take Royal Flush again, that's champagne, and kind of swirl this tapered blending in there, and then just put that in the inner corner for a little highlight. Okay, for the lower lash line, I want to use the same pencil brush, and I'm going to dip it in Bandersnatch and use that to line the lower lash line. Now I'm only going to go just a little tiny bit. Oh, my dog's jingle jangling. Hey, buddy. Hi. Hi, did you come join me for my tutorial? Say hi, Sam. You joining in on the tutorial? You can see the mess on my floor. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. How you doing? Look, got his hand on my lap. Look, I'm wearing pajama pants. I won't use the red shade, which is the Salazin Grum shade. I'm not going to use that on my lower lash line because I feel like that will make it look kind of bloody. So I'm going to take a little bit of Heads Will Roll and put that in the center. I like to have, this is just a personal thing, I really like my lower lash line matches my upper lid. I think it looks cool. So just a little bit there. And this is totally optional. If you want a more natural look, of course you won't go here. And then I'm going to use Royal Flush to brighten up the lower lash line. And I'm going to run Royal Flush all the way across. Alright, so now it's time to clean it up a little bit, and what I like to use is these pointy Q-tips. I get mine at Ulta, and then I use my Bioderma, but you can use any kind of makeup remover you want. And I use this instead of tape. I just prefer this to tape. I don't like the way tape feels on my face. I'm really textural when it comes to my skin. I don't like things that feel weird on my skin. So this is the way I choose to clean things up. So what I do is I just kind of point toward the edge, and I just wipe, and it takes it right off. So that is the finished eyeshadow look. I'm gonna go ahead and put on my liner and my mascara and my lashes and the rest of my face, and I'll be right back. Alright, so here is the finished look. For things else that I put on my face, I use my e.l.f. contour palette for my contour. For blush, I use the Model Co. blush in Peach Bellini. And then for eyelashes, I'm using my Inky Minky eyelashes in It's Secret. And then for lips, I use my new Manny MUA lip products in Charmed all over, and then I used Aries in the center to pop out my lips. So that's kind of how the finished look went. I hope that you liked it. As far as the review of the palette so far, I am really, really loving it. I own a few Urban Decay Vice palettes, and I feel like this one definitely in quality of shadow is definitely beating my Vice palettes quite a bit. I just feel like that there's very few duds in here. The only one that I found so far that seems to lack an impressive quality is Dream On. It's just that typical Urban Decay glittery shadow that is just really difficult to work with. I haven't used it on my eyes yet, but I can touch it and I feel that grit, and it's like, oh no, not another one of those. You know what I'm saying? If you've tried an Urban Decay palette, you probably know what I'm talking about. So this one I'm really nervous about, but again, I haven't tried it on the eyes yet. I've tried quite a few other shadows in this palette, and so far, just the blendability and the pigmentation is really fantastic. I do feel like the palette overall is quite overpriced. I mean, you're paying for the packaging, really. I mean, you're paying the price of an Urban Decay palette, plus you're paying about 10 bucks for this beautifulness with the butterfly and all that stuff. So people are gonna ask me, Jen, is this palette worth the price? And this is my question to you. Do you think this is really pretty? Do you really like these colors? If yes, the answer is yes. If you could care less about packaging and if you won't wear these colors, then heck no, it is not worth 60 bucks. I mean, I think the value to me, it's worth $60 to me. I don't know. Is it? I wish it was 40. You know, like just because spending $60 on an eyeshadow palette is quite a lot. But the thing is it's Alice in Wonderland, and I love Alice in Wonderland, and they just sucked me in. They sucked me in with the packaging. I'm very happy I have it. The $60 still makes me cringe though, I have to tell you. Still makes me cringe. It's a toy. For me, this is a toy. And I like this toy, and I'm happy with it. So if you want a toy like this, and it seems like something for you, I definitely recommend it. So that's my review of the Alice in Wonderland Through the Looking Glass palette. Overall, just really enjoying it so far. Looking forward to playing with it some more. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this tutorial. As you know, if you watch my channel, I don't do tutorials, so I would appreciate any advice you may have for me on my tutorial ability, things that I could do better. I'm always looking to improve my channel, so I'd appreciate any advice you have for me. And I want to thank you so much for watching the video. I appreciate it. If you're not already subscribed and you enjoyed, make sure you click the subscribe button. And if you want to see more tutorials, definitely let me know that in the comments down below as well. So I want to thank you again for watching. Mad love, and I'll see you soon. Bye!